The Detroit Tigers came to Tropicana Park to hold A.J. Hinch's perfect 9-0 opening day record remains intact. They failed. Eduardo Rodriguez shot quite well, but some wobbly work and wasted chances. He lost their chances on offense as they fell 4-0. The first two hits went quickly in a left-handed starting duel. Both Shane McClanahan and Eduardo Rodriguez are stuck with a single in the first round. In the second, sliced one-on-one into the left field corner, he put Austin Meadows in second base with an outside. Miguel Cabrera quickly jumped in and Meadows was second. Jonathan Schoop struggled with a long AB, committing multiple 98 to 99 miles per hour fouls along the way. In the end, the hard-tossing left-hander had Schoop bite a tight smash ball that went down and in for a three-swing hit. Rodriguez took a walk to Brandon Lowe at the end of the second, but otherwise took a quick hit. The Tigers got another scoring opportunity in the third round, but that came with two exits. Javier Baez made a march that reached base for the second time in the game. Then Riley Green slapped a small helicopter to the right that went for an on-court single. Unfortunately, Eric Hossa removed a soaring pop-up for third place. Straining two runners in second, Rays capitalized at the end of third when Jose Siri drank a 1-1 cutout from middle for a solo shot into left field. Rodriguez generally had a good command up until that point, handling the rubber's third base, but that mistake cost him. He bounced back to hit Yandy Diaz on a well-positioned cutter for a third hit, then knocked Wander Franco and Isaac Paredes down. Erod went from 3 innings on 44 pitches to a walk from 2 innings, but the difference at this point was Siri's home run. Hey Siri, who has the most home runs this season? Pic.Twitter's OKQ3 League, Fox Sports MLB March 30, 2023. After Torkelson knocked down the middle to lead the 4th inning, Meadows opened a midfielder for single inning that was his second inning. Diaz stole shot from second and had to scramble to get it, but Tigers video stand refused challenge and that was it. Rodriguez's command continued to be sharp. He was really throwing Rays right-handed hitters in, mixing the occasional cutter there with a quad stitcher and expanding with change a few backdoor cutters. He assembled 2 quick opens to underscore the 4th, and then finished off the frame, dusting off Manuel Margot, who was swinging from a heater for his 3rd shot. At this point McClanahan's ordered Titan to match his high-octane items. He quickly blew up Jonathan Schoop to open the 5th, then causing Ryan Kreidler to make a nasty change for the 3rd inning. Matt Vierling lifted a flying ball into the right field to finish the top half. McClanahan was 79 on the field at that point, so they hadn't been able to score long enough to get him out of there. Rodriguez hit Brandon Lowe to clear bottom of the 5th round and froze him on outside edge with a perfect fastball. Christian Betancourt flew in midfield to Riley Green for the second out. This brought Jose Siri back into the spotlight, but Rodriguez stayed away from the fastball with cuts and changes. For Erod's 5th punch, he took Siri out of her shoes and smelled a cutter. 72 was on the field and looking pretty good. But that didn't help the Tigers hitters take down McClanahan. Lefty dusted Baez for the first of the 6th, followed by a deep flight from Riley Green to center. A missed with his cornering ball, and then the substitution saw McClanahan trailing 2-0 over Eric Hossa. Instead, he threw a fast ball down the middle and Hossa took a line drive in midfield toward Siri. Good swings. Futile. After scoring multiple hits over 5 innings, Rodriguez repeatedly missed his goal to open the 6th inning, taking Diaz for a walk ahead. Taylor Walls was a substitute to run for Diaz. Wander Franco saw a bit more craziness than Rodriguez, who took a 3-1 lead, but was stuck by cutter and lined up poorly at Meadows on left for the first out of frame. Paredes lined up Erod's 88th course center and placed the runners first and second in an outside for Randy Arozarena. A.J. Hinch decided that was enough for opening day and summoned Jason Foley from the arena in hopes of double play. A rather lukewarm slider to the middle and down was pulled back out of the box to give Diaz a single touchdown. Rays manager Kevin Cash turned left-handed hitter Luke Raley to replace DH Harold Ramirez, who wanted to increase runs. Rayleigh surpassed Schoop to score Paredes for another single. Foley put Margot in a double play to get out of more trouble, but allowed both inherited runners to score, and it was the 3-0 Rays. Rodriguez finished the season with 5.1 IP, 3 ER, 3 H, 2 BB, 5 SO for a good enough start. He did not receive any help from Foley. McClanahan's day was over. Cash turned to left-handed Colin Poche to start the 7th inning. He amassed 2 quick starts against Torkelson and Meadows, but Cabrera doubled a fastball to the left to equalize Ichiro Suzuki in his 23rd all-time hit. He got a good applause from the crowd. No to this couple. For Miggy. Now MLB has tied Ichiro Suzuki at number 23 on the all-time most-watched list. Tigers #RepDetroitPick. Twitter BSKPDQXP, Bally Sports Detroit March 30, 2023. Jonathan Schoop then did a march, and it was up to Ryan Kreidler, who started on stage 3. The Tigers man isn't known for his strength, but he did most of his damage in the minor leagues, so Poche was a good match for him. Kreidler hit fastball well and drove him in the opposite direction in line, but Margot caught really nice dive to avoid 2-round trio, and the Tigers left without taking anything. Hinch returned to veteran left-handed Chasen Shreve at the end of the 7th lap. He threw a really bad splitter at Brandon Lowe for the debut. He walked through Betancourt, but came back to punch Siri with a fastball on the 2nd innings. That's up Taylor Walls, who went to Baez finish the shot. The Tigers still had 6 outs run, but were opposed to the Rays arena and the fact that they only needed 3 rounds tie things up. Recently acquired utility programmer Zach McKinstry came in as Vierling's replacement for an 8th lead against Jason Adam. The match didn't work out as left-handed hitter fell to the ground on first Tigers hit. Baez followed him on a flight. Riley Green took a 4-step walk with 2 outs, but Hossa got stuck and gave Franco a mistake at the shortback for the final. At the end of 8th, the Tigers' Rule 5 selection Mason Englert made his major league debut. The right-handed player had not climbed above AA in the Texas Rangers system and was rudely received by Wander Franco and single shot into left midfield, making the score 4-0. 3 routine exits followed after Englert was placed, and we were on the cusp of our 9th and Tigers' last chance against a really tough saver at Pete Fairbanks. We hadn't really seen anything interesting from the new rules up to this point, but they got to the 9th innings in just 208, which is really fast pace. The time of the field hour has arrived. Of course, there was no real long hit involved. Spencer Torkelson took lead in the 9th round and took field. Meadows followed a single with a sharp grinder from the right. Unfortunately, Cabrera threw a fastball on the first pitch of his shot, and it was up to Nick Maton, who stepped in to get Schoop's left-right matchup. Maton took a 2-0 lead, then took a big tear in the slider for the 1st inning. Another slider kicked in to level the score, and Maton returned to Fairbanks for the game's finale. There aren't a ton of positives on screen other than a 3-hit game from Meadows. Eduardo Rodriguez made a solid game. Chasen Shreve looked good. The Tigers weren't able to catch the front man often enough to produce a run, and the Rays outpaced them with a double home run.